fabulous people. Welcome to the channel for all the babes who create their own life trends. As most of you know, I've been living in Italy for over a decade, and today I'm going to share with you must-have apps for travel in Italy that I know will make a huge difference during your next trip to Italy. These are some of the best travel apps that you must download, no matter if you plan on traveling to Rome, Florence, Venice, Milan, or even some of the small towns in Italy. Now, before we begin, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. All right, fabulous people, now let's get started. Now let's begin with one of the top travel apps, not only in Italy, but entire Europe, and that is Omio app. I personally love Omio app because it allows you to find tickets for planes, trains, ferries across Europe, and I believe they're also available in US and Canada, but that is such a great app. And one thing that I noticed and a lot of my Italian friends noticed is that on Omio app, when you look for train tickets, they're usually 20-30% cheaper than on other train apps or other travel apps. So that is a great resource for you for buying tickets online, especially if you're a budget cautious traveler. I personally buy most of my tickets on Omio app, and I love how easy it is to use the app. And then once you get your tickets, you get the QR code right away, so you don't need to print anything. All you have to do is just show up with your QR code to the train station, and that is it. And one of my absolute favorite features with this app is that in case of any delays with your train, plane, or ferry, Omio app is going to notify you right away of any changes, so you're always up to date with all the information, and it's just such an easy and wonderful app to use. So if you plan on traveling in Italy or in Europe in general, definitely give this app a chance. Now, the app that a lot of Italians use specifically to book a train in Italy is Trenitalia. With this app, you can easily purchase your train tickets, track any delays, and get all your train information. It's one of those essential apps you need for traveling in Italy. And if you plan on traveling in Italy by train, I definitely recommend to watch my video on how to travel Italy by train. And of course, I will have a link for you to that video in the description down below. The third app that you absolutely must download is depicted, and I hope I pronounced it correctly. But this app, if you've never used it before, is going to blow your mind. It is such a lifesaver in case you don't speak Italian, and most people don't, because it will allow you to communicate with locals and even read menus at Italian restaurants. Now, another app that is very similar to depicted is, of course, Google Translate, and it is an incredible tool for all the international travelers, as it provides translation for over 100 languages, of course, including Italian. Now, of course, you guys can download depicted and Google Translate and see for yourself which app you prefer. But in my opinion, depicted just has more of an advanced way of communicating with Italians or reading the menu. It's just more of an advanced app when it comes to Italian language, but you're more than welcome to use both because they're very similar in their functions and what they can do. For example, you can input any phrase in English and both apps will translate it for you right away into Italian language. You can also listen to the pronunciation of that text to make sure you pronounce it correctly. And you can even have a local say something in their language and it will translate it back to you in English. But my absolute favorite feature is using the camera on your phone. All you need to do is to hover your camera over a menu at a restaurant or anything you'd like to be translated, and both apps will translate the text for you into English instantaneously. And of course, before you travel to Italy, I do recommend to learn some key phrases, and for that I have an excellent video for you 5 Italian phrases for every occasion in Italy that I will make sure to leave for you in the description down below. One quick tip that I have for you is make sure to download Italian language before your Italian vacation, so it is available to you even when you're offline. All right, moving on to the next app, which is WhatsApp. And guys, if you've never heard of WhatsApp, let me tell you, it is one of the best apps to communicate with locals in Italy. We use WhatsApp pretty much for everything, even sometimes making restaurant reservations and dentist appointments and communicating with concierge at the hotel or your Airbnb hosts. Whatever it is, guys, we use WhatsApp for everything. And as a side note, guys, WhatsApp is not only a preferred way of communication in Italy, but most countries in Europe. So make sure to download it. It is free to use. And you can even call US or Canada or Australia or anywhere else in the world with it for free. As long as you have Wi-Fi connection, you can call home, and it is just such a wonderful app to use. All right, guys, the next app is GlobeConvert. And that app is very useful if you try to convert euros to dollars or dollars to euros. And I think it's especially useful if you plan on exchanging money at those exchange kiosks. It is always a good idea to compare the rate this app is giving you versus what they are giving you. And this app is not only great for converting euros to dollars, again, or dollars to euros, but pretty much any world currency. And yes, there are so many apps that do exactly the same thing. I personally find this one very easy to use, and it does the trick for me. So if you're looking for a good conversion app, that one is definitely for you. 3B Meteo is one of the best apps to download for Italy if you want the most accurate weather forecast. This is what most locals use here in Italy, and let me tell you, fabulous people, I don't know why, but the apps that we normally use in the US or Canada on our phones unfortunately do not work as accurate as the local apps here in Italy. So if you want the most accurate weather forecast, 3B Meteo is going to be your best friend. Now, there is another app which is called Il Meteo that is also very popular here in Italy, but I personally prefer 3B Meteo for its layout and accuracy. Convert Lite is one of those travel apps that will help you greatly when you travel to Europe. It will help you to convert grams, kilograms, kilometers, and other units that we don't use in the US. Of course, I have to mention Moovit. Maybe you've heard of this app before, but it is one of the best apps to navigate public transportation throughout the city. All you have to do is to input where you are and where you're going, and this app is going to give you all the choices, including trams, metro, buses, etc. And it's going to tell you exactly how much time it's going to take for you to get from point A to point B. In my opinion, Moovit is one of the best public transportation apps in Rome and Italy in general. As you guys know, I've been talking about FREENOW app in my previous videos because I do like this app, but there are 3 main reasons why I recommend for you to use specifically that one. Number 1, as you guys know, a lot of times, and I'm sure you've heard some of those stories, especially recently, if you catch a cab at the taxi stand or on the street, a lot of times, unfortunately, taxi drivers overcharge you for their service. It is unfortunate, but it does happen quite often. Number 2, as you guys know, or maybe you do not know, I'm going to tell you right now, we in Italy only have Uber Black, and that means it's going to cost you. So if you do not want to pay almost double of a price of a taxi, I do recommend for you to use a taxi versus Uber here in Italy. And number 3, recently, guys, lines at taxi stands honestly been out of control. It takes almost an hour for you to catch a cab at a taxi stand. Therefore, ordering a cab through FREENOW app is a much better and faster choice. Now, one downside to this app right now is that with so many tourists visiting Italy, it does take some time for you to get a taxi through this app, but still, overall, in my opinion, FREENOW app is one of the best travel apps in Italy. All right, fabulous people, thank you so much for watching this Italy travel tips, and I truly hope that you found this recap of the best travel apps useful and beneficial. And if you have any travel apps for Italy travel that you absolutely love, I invite you guys to share them in the comments down below. Now, before you go, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. And as always, I truly hope to see you all in my next video.